Yo, what up, y'all? It's your girl Netta. Welcome back to the Nonchalant podcast. It's been a minute, y'all. I know it's been a minute since I dropped my first episode. Almost a month, huh? Couple weeks, whatever. It's been crazy. So I've been at my aunt's house. First of all, I'm home. I set up my little podcast area. Y'all like it? Y'all like my little wall art and shit? And stuff. It's the lady. But, yeah, because, so what had happened was, being at my aunt's house, for one, it was loud over there. I never had any privacy. No, time to just sit back and record my podcast without people coming in and out. Or Xavier, I love my brother Xavier. Everybody, not everybody, but just somebody listening, and then I feel like I can't say. It's not that I can't say what I want to say, but I am a shy person. I'm a shy person, so being alone, I could say more than what I would normally say, when somebody's watching me, But so that's how I felt. I felt like somebody always listening to what I'm saying and watching me, and it's just or it's always noisy or whatever. I was just man, I need to wait until I have my own, till I'm on my own, nobody around, no distractions, nothing. So I'm finally home, and I set up my little podcast thing. I'm gonna do this every week. I'm gonna drop an episode every week now. From now on, I'm moving soon, so once I move, I'm gonna set up my shit there to my new place. But until then, I'm gonna record here every week. I'm gonna drop my episodes and be more consistent. But thank y'all for listening. If you're listening right now, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. So let me tell you about my. All right. So first, I guess I could talk about what I talked about on my previous. I recorded my second episode twice. I recorded the first time and I didn't like the way it came out. I didn't like it was some angles that I just wasn't feeling, because I was sitting on the floor, and I was like this. It was mad angles where you could just see right up my nose and stuff. I didn't have boogers or nothing, but it was just looking crazy. I just wasn't liking the angles, so now I gotta try to pay attention to my angles here. But yeah, I just wasn't feeling some of the angles that I had recorded that first episode. I had my scarf on, and I just was I'm not feeling it. So I didn't. So I was like, okay, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna record it again. So I waited a couple days. I was procrastinating. I finally re-recorded that episode. Boom, recorded it. Dope. It was an hour, bro. It was 45 minutes, I think. And it was cool. I talked a lot. I was talking about work. I was talking about getting laid off and what's my plans after work and things like that. But I I'm trying not to curse. I freaking deleted the messages. I deleted the video. I was trying to edit it, and I didn't have room on my phone. It was acting crazy. So I was like, okay, let me put it in the iMovies and then delete it from the phone, so then I could edit. I don't know. It was just crazy. It was crazy. I ended up deleting the whole shit, and from the cloud and everything, I deleted it. So here we are. So that was a couple weeks ago. And like I said, with my aunt's house, I just never had a moment. I never felt it. I never had a good moment to record. So now I'm home in my own house. I set up my area. I'm excited about this, y'all. I don't know, cause now, even though the episode didn't, nobody's seen the episode about when I talked about not leaving, getting laid off and because I asked the question on my Instagram, what should I talk about? And one of the suggestions was talking about how I felt when I got laid off and what's my next plans after that and what I actually did at my job. So that's what I talked about for 45 minutes twice. So now it's like, damn, I really don't feel like talking about it now. But y'all didn't see it, but it's just still like now I'm just like I done talked about that thing twice. But I didn't have a planned topic for today. I just wanted to tell y'all about, why it took me so long. But I'm gonna be more consistent and post more frequently for my entertainment purposes. But shout out to the people, a couple people that watched. Shout out to the people that gave me some feedback. I love y'all. Y'all are great. It's mostly my family. So hey, if that's the only people that watch this, then hey, what up, family? We here. What's good? Like if I get strangers that watch it, then that's what's up too. Like, what up, strangers? I'm here. I'm Netta. If it is strangers watching, or not even, if it's family watching, a lot of people don't know me. I'm a closed book. I'm pretty shy, pretty reserved. So my goal is to open up more and let people get to know me, get to know Netta. Eventually, like I said, I don't know if I said it, but I want to do, I want to get a co-host eventually. But right now, I like my little setup. I think I'm going to just keep it for me right now. We'll see. I'm going to get some people on here one day. But like I said, right now I'm cooling. I keep saying and I hate that. So I also put on my Facebook. On my social media. I was saying I was gonna do some because I want to do like a co-host type thing and like have a podcast where you're like bantering. Like I felt like I want like like that banter, like that podcast feel. It's usually more than one person on the podcast. So I wanted a co-host, and until then, I was saying that I was just gonna do some short form videos or just some getting to know me videos. Like, it won't necessarily be the Nonchalant podcast, but it'll just be getting to know Netta, Janetta, Jeanette, Nettie Pooh, whatever you call me. Getting to know me. There was some questions I had asked my family, because most of the people that watch, like I said, it's my family. So I asked them to send in some questions of some things they always wanted to know about me, since I'm so quiet and reserved. I don't have my laptop. I left my laptop, unfortunately. So usually I have my laptop and I'm looking at things on my laptop to talk about. I write down little notes or whatever. I don't have that. I don't have no notes besides the notes that's in my phone. But I'm recording with my phone, so I can't necessarily look at my phone. So I can't really remember the questions. I remember one question, and I think I'm going to answer that one question. I remember that question. I'm going to answer the question, and then I'm going to go into, I think it'll be a perfect segue for me to go into my job that I was working and what I was actually doing and how I felt when I got laid off. So basically, the question was, what made me choose my major? Well, I think it said, what made me choose my first major? So when I first started, so basically my college journey was like 9 years. Like, I started school in 2009. Yeah, I started college in 2009 when I was like 19. And I didn't finish. I didn't graduate until 2018. And I was however old. 28. Yeah, but I didn't graduate till 2018. There was a lot of obstacles though. Like, a lot of people assumed that I dropped out of school, just dropped out. Like, I don't know what my family's perception was on what took me so long to finish school, but it's a couple of things that took me long. It was, for one, so first, my first major was early childhood education. How did I choose that major? I literally went down a list. It was at Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. That's where I'm from. If you're a stranger and you're watching and you don't know where I'm from, I'm originally from Brooklyn. I live in Atlanta now. But anyway, so yeah, it was Kingsborough Community College. Dang, my ear just cut on. That's annoying. But anyway, Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn. I just looked at the book and I was looking at all the majors, and the only major that spoke to me, or like not even, it was just seemed easy. I'm not gonna lie, I picked the easiest major. Like, it was like early childhood education. I was like, early childhood, that's second grade, okay. Like, like I was like, first, second grade education. I could be a first grade teacher. Like, that's easy. Like, I know 1 + 1. Like, dead serious. That's what I was thinking. That's why I chose the major. Basically, all my life I wanted to be in some type of like entertainment field. Like, but I never had talent. I never thought I could sing, rap, act. Well, I used to want to be an actress too when I was little, but act, sing, rap, and I was always super shy. So because I never had the talent, like, even though I was like, dang, I wish I could be famous. Like, I wish I could, work in this field. Like, I don't know. I just always wanted to work in the entertainment field, but again, I was too shy and too quiet and just not confident enough to go for that dream. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I still kind of don't, like, but whatever. I'm gonna get into that. So yeah, I didn't but that was all my life. That's the field that I was always interested in, entertainment, like, and like pop culture and just stuff. I was just always interested in stuff like that, like, radio, maybe, what else? Like 106 in Park or some shit. Like, I wanted to be like a host of 106 in Park or something. Like, just something in the entertainment industry field. I always wanted to be. I always wanted to do. But I knew that for one, I knew it was a cutthroat business. Like, everybody don't make it. There's millions of people that want to be in the entertainment fields and they don't make it. Like, so I just knew that it would be hard to make. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that's like people that want to be freaking a basketball player. Like, it's so many people that want to be a basketball player. Everybody don't make it. Like, it's a cutthroat industry. Everybody that want to be a famous singer, rapper, whatever. Everybody don't make it. You know how many people out here that want to be singers, rappers? Now, the world that we live in is different because people can make their own shit now and promote their own self and, build their own fan base because we got social media and stuff like that. But back in the day, it was different. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was, a couple people get lucky, like hitting the lottery. But so because of that, because it was a cutthroat industry, I just was like, I want to do this, it'll be dope, but I was like, I ain't gonna do it. Like, I know I'm not gonna be able to be in the entertainment industry. And I was only thinking, so when I thought about the entertainment industry, I was only thinking about the famous people. You know what I'm saying? Like the stars, like the people in front of the camera. Never thought about behind the scenes. Like, never thought, like, that it takes a producer, somebody, that comes up with the concepts and makes sure everything is running the way it's supposed to be running and all of this. I never thought about those jobs. Like, I just see the star and I'm like, oh, I want to be a star. Like, I want to be famous. I want to be with these people, and the only way I could be with these stars and the famous in the pop culture, and just, I loved music, like award shows and stuff. I wanted to be, like, that was my goal. Like, I want a job where I get to go to the Grammys every year. Like, what job is, I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, I was just like, that's what I want. But yeah, so I never thought about the behind the scenes people. Never. Like even like production assistant, and then like moving up to showrunner, director, like when it comes to like film and movies and stuff like that. Like I just always thought about the star. Like I said that already. But so it wasn't until um dang, I wanna. All right, I'm gonna get into when I thought about the other jobs in that field. That's what I wanted to say. That like it wasn't until I ran across the major that I actually majored in, which is communications and media studies. Um, that major, that's when I've read about like like producers. I googled like jobs with people in that major, and I seen like a producer, and I seen like I said different gaffers and what's the others? Production assistants and first AD, second AD, and there's that director, and like, oh shit, oh my thing fell, guys. I'm so mad. Okay, I'm mad because I don't want to edit it out. Oh well. So yeah, there's different jobs. So not until later on in life did I think about the other jobs, like that's not the star, like the people that make, like the people that run the shit. Cause the star just show up, do their lines, and get the fuck out. Or if it's a artist, they just come to the studio, record, and they get the fuck out. There's other people. I'm sorry, I keep cursing, bro. Anyway, whatever. It's other people that is there that's promoting these artists, that's setting up the studio time, that's doing it. Like A&R. I used to want to do that too. Like whatever. Like I just like the whole entertainment industry. It's hard for me to pick because I like music, but then I also like the TV and film industry, and just all of it was always fascinating to me and just seemed so interesting to me, and it was like something I wanted to be a part of. So, but that's later on. I want to go back and explain my journey in school, whatever, and why it took me so long to graduate. Which nobody even asked this question, but I just feel like it's on my chest. I want to get it out. So basically, I started school in 2019. I said 2019. I started college in 2009. So I majored in early childhood education. So in the beginning, I took my core classes, my reading, writing, English, math classes, things like that. I didn't pass. So you got to take a placement test to get into the college. You got to take a placement test, but so I didn't pass the math placement. I suck at math. Math is trash, right? So, but whatever. But at Kingsborough, I didn't even have to take it. I didn't have to take math. So I was just, I took, like I said, my English classes, my just psychology. Like I just took regular, I took core classes. I didn't get into my major classes just yet. And then that was in 2009 when I started. That was like, I think I started school November 2009. And then my grandmother passed away in September of 2010. So I was staying with my grandmother. I was going to school and everything. Then my grandmother passed away. I feel like getting into all the details, but like I said, mostly family watching this anyway. So y'all know my grandmother had my brothers at the time. So I became the foster parent, basically, for my brothers. So that for one, and for two, not only did I become the foster parent for my brothers, that's one thing, but I was still going to school. I was trying to go to school. Like that's not the only excuse for me not continuing school. So of course, grandma passed away right in the beginning of the semester. So I missed the first couple classes because she passed away September 7th. School started September 9th or something like that. So I missed the first couple of days. We had funeral planning and I'm grieving. My grandmother was my best friend, bro. So I'm grieving all of that. So when I finally got back into school, I started going to class because I had registered already. So I started going to class. And it was hard. I couldn't. It was tough. because in between, like, my grandma, like, literally, my grandmother was my best friend. So, like, when I was going to school, I was in school. In between classes, I'll walk to my next class, or let's say I have an hour break, I'll call my grandmother. Like, dead serious. Like y'all don't understand. Like, I call, if right now, if I was home and my grandmother was still living, that's who I'll be talking to. Like, that's who I talk to on the phone. Like, grandma, what you doing? Like, like, dead serious. Me and my grandma be on the phone forever. Like, but if I'm not home, if I'm not at her house, but that's who I usually call during my breaks. And in school, I wasn't focused. Like, for one, I already missed the beginning. I missed, like, you know what I'm saying? So now I come in, it's like time to take a test and I don't know nothing. And then I'm thinking about the fact that my grandmother's gone. Like, I was still grieving. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was within the same month. It was hard. Like, so, and not until later did I find out that I could have, I could have gotten the financial aid money paid or whatever because I was grieving. Like, I could have got money back or whatever the case may be. But what happened with the but I was grieving. It was hard, so I stopped going to school, and also I got my brothers. I had to become the foster parent for my brothers. So I just stopped going to school, and like, yeah, it was hard. I just I was failing all my classes. So I just was like, fuck it. Like, I just stopped going. And because of that, and I failed all my classes, financial aid did not pay for those classes. So I owed the school money, and I didn't have the money. I owed the school $2,200, and I didn't have $2,200. I was 20 years old, 20, 21. I was 21 years old. I was not working because I was in school full time at first, and then I became the foster parent to my brothers. So I was just taking care of my brothers. We was getting money from the foster care agency, so that's how we was paying the rent and stuff. So I keep saying I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize for saying all the time. I'm working on it, but but yeah, like, so I didn't have no money. Like, I was getting money for taking care of my brothers, but that was going for food and rent. We was paying rent, food, clothes for them, things like that. I wasn't spending no money. Like, I didn't have $2,200 to pay the school. So I couldn't go back to school. Like, unless somebody was going to pay the $2,200 that I owed the school, I couldn't register. I couldn't get back in school. Nothing. And that's why I stopped going to school for a couple years. It was a couple years. I didn't have that kind of money. Once my brothers left and went to Georgia, I started working at, like, Kmart, whatever. It don't matter. I started working. I moved back to Harlem. I was living in Brooklyn at the time with my brothers. I moved back to Harlem. I started working. And my goal, I wanted to go back to Georgia. I wanted to go to Georgia. Like, that's when my brothers, they left. They went to Georgia in 2011. So I'm like, bro, I want to go to Georgia. So I applied for college in Georgia, right? So normally, they want your transcripts from every school that you attended. But I owed Kingsborough money. Kingsborough was not trying to give me my transcripts. So when I applied to school in Georgia, I told them that I never went to college. So basically, I started over. So I had to take the same. So I moved to Georgia 2011, 2012 maybe. Maybe it was 2012 when I moved. Yeah, it was like 2012. So I went to Georgia 2012. I got into Atlanta Metro, and I was going to school there, whatever. I still did early childhood education as my major at that time. I was still doing early childhood education, but I lied and said that I didn't go to college, so they didn't ask for the transcript. So, but because of that, I had to start over. So I had to take the same classes. I'm sorry. I had to take the same classes, the same reading, writing, and this time in Atlanta Metro, they was making me take the math and all of that. And again, like I did not pass the math test. Matter of fact, I think in Kingsborough, I might have passed the math test. That's why I didn't have to take math. But in Atlanta Metro, I didn't pass the math test, so I had to take learning support classes, like remedial math classes. So that was my first year and some change at Atlanta Metro. I was just retaking all the classes I already took in Kingsborough. So I just know I heard some people rumbling like, "Oh, Janetta's still in school. Janetta didn't graduate yet." Da, da, da. Like, and they didn't know that I had to restart. Like, I restarted. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was 2 years of the same classes, the same everything. But so I was in Georgia, whatever. Then I got sick. My thyroid was messing up. Georgia, they don't have no good health insurance. So I went back to New York and got on Medicaid, and I had to get like a biopsy. Like, it was just a bunch of shit going on, my thyroid and shit. Yeah, it was just a bunch of shit. So I had to go back to New York, right? So I missed. So and I had to stay. I stayed in New York longer than expected. So I missed a semester in Atlanta Metro. I missed a whole semester, because I went back to New York because of my health, for health reasons. And when I missed that semester in Atlanta Metro, I stayed in New York, whatever. I started working. That's when I started working at Home Goods. I got my little job. So now this is what? Now this is like 2013, 2014, right? Yeah, it's like 2014, 2013. I'm in New York. It's 2014, right? So I finally got my health situated. I finally had got my health situated, got on some medicine and stuff like that. And my goal, again, was to go back to Georgia. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to move to Georgia before my brothers was even living in Georgia. I've been wanting to move to Georgia. But honestly, I didn't want to leave my grandma. Like, my grandma was in Red Hook. I didn't want to leave my grandma. I was like, I want to go to Georgia, but then I want to stay here with my grandma. But then when grandma passed away, and then my brothers moved to Georgia, I was like, I want to go to Georgia. Like, that's like, shoot, because my aunt was in Georgia. Keisha, that's my favorite auntie. I wanted to go and be with my auntie. And no offense to any other aunties. Y'all know that I'm very close with Keisha. But anyway, so yeah, my goal, I still wanted to go to Georgia. Bong, bong, bong. I was staying in Harlem with my mommy. I got a job at Home Goods. So I was just working. So I was just working. I couldn't, this is 2014. I still couldn't get back into school because I owed $2,200 to Kingsborough. While I was working at Home Goods and shit stuff, I was only making $8 an hour, and I was paying for my food and just regular, like, I wasn't making a whole lot of money. Home Goods was a part-time job. I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I was staying with my mommy, so I was giving her money. I was paying for my food. I wanted to go to Georgia, so I went to Georgia. So I transferred from Home Goods. I went to Home Goods, and I found out it was a store in Atlanta. So I transferred to the Atlanta store, and I moved back to Georgia. And I tried to enroll in school. Then, now, by this time, 2014, they had a little thing where they, like, now the system, they run your name or whatever, and they know what schools you went to. So they ran my name, and they was like, well, you could get readmitted into the school, but we need your transcripts from Kingsborough. So that set me back. I was so sad. I was like, fuck, I thought I could go back to school when I went to Georgia. I couldn't go back to school. Again, because I needed money. Not because I just wanted to drop out and didn't feel like going to school. The whole time I wanted to go to school. And if somebody wanted to pay that $2,200, they could have paid that $2,200. Nobody asked me, nobody cared, but people was talking like, oh, Janetta, drop out, college drop out, this, that, and the third. Yeah, I heard those rumblings from people. But whatever. So that's why I feel like I just need to clear that up. Like I dropped out, yes. Well, but I was grieving. I lost my grandmother, so I failed those classes. And financial aid was not paying for them, so I owed money to Kingsborough. But anyway, yeah. So by the time I went back to Georgia to go back to school, they knew I went to Kingsborough. They wanted those transcripts. So do you know what Janetta did? Janetta worked, and she worked, right? So I was working at Home Goods and shit, and then I got my income tax money, and you know what Janetta did with her income tax money? And Janetta don't got no kids, so you know her income tax money wasn't a whole lot of money. But when Janetta got her income tax money, I'm sorry, I'm talking like that. I'm sorry, y'all. So when I got my income tax money, where that money went, all that money went to Kingsborough Community College. I spent all my income tax money and to pay Kingsborough so I could get my transcripts. That was in 2015. And then I decided to go to Clayton State University, where I graduated in 3 years with my degree in communications and media studies. I came across Clayton State. I was looking at their majors, and when I seen communications and media studies as a major, then I Googled jobs in that field and stuff like that. I was like, this is my major. Like, why? Why am I just finding out about this major? Honestly, so that major, honestly, it was the best thing I ever did. Like, it was I'm sorry. Learning about the things I learned about, like, digital marketing, social media, just film. I took some film classes, some film production classes. Like, I took some of the dopest classes. I'm so happy that I chose that as my major, because it was exciting to learn. Like, I never was excited to learn about something, but that major, I was excited to learn about the things. I was excited to, possibly get a job in these fields. So that's what happened. I came across that major, communications, media studies, and it was dope. I graduated in 3 years once I switched my major. So once I switched my major, I had my course. I forgot to mention another obstacle that I had faced was that math. I had to take learning support, which is like remedial math classes. I was failing. And then, so what happened? I was failing the math classes. I had to take the remedial. Okay, and then I took I took the remedial math class too many times. They was like, you can't take it no more. Like, you gotta either take the test and pass it, or you can't come to school no more. Like, you can't continue because you need this math class. I needed algebra or whatever, college algebra, but I couldn't take college algebra until I passed the test. So another thing Janetta did with her money was take a course. I paid for a math course out of pocket with her own money. And I took that math course. It was a 4-week course. I took it, and then I retook the placement test, passed the placement test, boom. And I was able to take college algebra. So, but yeah. So that's another thing though, that stopped me from moving forward, because it was like most of the classes, like every class you needed like college algebra and English as a prerequisite to take the classes. So that's what happened. That's what happened with me in my school journey. I know, yeah, like I said, mostly family watch this, so I'm just letting y'all know, family. That's what happened with my school journey. I'm at 35 minutes. I'm trying to think if I want to now go into the work, or if I want to try to keep it short and sweet. So basically, that was my major, communications, media studies. I graduated 2018. From 2018 when I graduated, I worked at a call center or whatever, but I ended up quitting there because I was trying to get a job in my degree field, and I ended up, and it was hard. While I was working full time at the call center, it was hard for me to find a job in my field because I'll get called for an interview, but I can't take off at the call center. They was super strict. So it was just like, I gotta quit. Like, so I quit, and how long? Maybe like 2 months later, I finally got me a job at a media company. I don't want to say the name of the media company because I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I don't know. But it was at a media company, pretty well known. Well, at least the company that it's under, like the company that owns the company that I worked for, is well-known media company, right? So I was excited about that, like, because there's jobs in that within that media company that I would love to do, like producing a radio show or a podcast, just being a part of those type of things, award shows that said media company also have award shows and radios. I said radio already. So yeah, radio, podcasts, awards, just music, period. And I was interested into exploring some opportunities within that company. So that was my goal. So my job, it was boring. It was like on the corporate side of things, or like it wasn't on the creative side of things, where I wanted to eventually get a job on the creative side of things. I was the office side of things. I was just a middleman between a television agency and an advertising agency and a television station. I was the middleman. I had to make sure, so when the commercials that they ordered, that they paid for, didn't run, I had to, the station will send me over, your commercial didn't run because of this, and it'll tell me like, your commercial didn't run because football ran over, you had a spot in this show, and we're going to offer you a spot in this show at this time. So I had to look it over, make sure the offer made sense, make sure it was like the same amount of people watching the shows, and just make sure it all makes sense. And then I had to send it over to the agency to see if they accept it or not. Basically, I was just the middleman. I was just like, here, the station said this, the agency said this, whatever. That was me. That was my job. And it was cool. The company was dope. Like, that's the first time, like, it was the first time I had a job where it's just, nobody's like breathing down your neck. Nobody's like, make sure you do this. Like, as long as you do your work, which I did my work, it was cool. Like, it was an office setting. It was dope. I had my own little cubicle. I loved it. And the people in my office was dope. They were cool people. We used to drink. Like, we used to go to tacos and tequila for lunch. Like, we had beer in the office, and like somebody's birthday, we had liquor, like snacks, bro, snacks. One of my coworkers, his mom used to bake us snacks, bro. When I say it was so good, but whatever, it was just a fun environment. It was a cool place. I enjoyed going to work. Like, usually you dragging, you like, you gotta get up and go to work. Like, of course, because I'm not really a morning person. So yeah, it was like, gotta go to work. But like, just because I'm tired. But once I'm at work, once I'm up, it wasn't draining to be at work. It wasn't like, another day. Like, it was cool. Like, it was just a chill setting. Like, honestly, it's where I started watching YouTube as often. Like, I always watch YouTube, but I usually watch YouTube, like, just watch videos, music videos. But at work, because there was a lot of downtime, so that's when I started watching different podcasts and prank videos and this and that. And like, I just seen a lot of YouTube. Like, I started learning YouTube, and I was like, man, I want to go on YouTube. So that's why I'm here on YouTube. Even if I got only 5 viewers, whatever, I'm here. But that's what brought me here. But so when I got laid off, the question was how did it make me feel? So I was sad because my plan all along was to put in this time. I was gonna put in a year in my position, which I did. I made it a year, but unfortunately, the year hit in the pandemic. I made a year in April. So in April, we were still working from home, pandemic. So I wasn't worrying about like applying just yet to other jobs in that field because that company actually laid off a bunch of people when the pandemic first started. So I was like, cool, whatever. My job was secure. Like, well, I thought they were saying that they were trying their best not to lay off people. They was trying. We lasted from working from home since March till August. They lasted without letting nobody go. But in August, they let us go. They let some people go. And I was just like, I felt sad. Like, and like I said, mainly because my plan was to apply because I felt like that job was my foot in the door. Like, I'm like, boom, my foot in the door. I could go work for this company and on the creative side and actually do what I want to do something fun, like, you know. So that's what I was going to do. That was my plan or whatever. And then, but yeah, but I got fired. Well, laid off. So it made me sad. If you want to know my feelings, I felt sad about it. Then I was like, okay, cool. Let's see. I'll get unemployment and just rock with that for a little while. That was my plan. But unemployment still ain't even fucking process my paperwork. So I'm broke. Rent is due. So obviously I got to get me a job. So that's what I've been doing now. Because the other question was, what's next? So what's next is I got to get me a job. Of course, a lot of stuff in my field that I want to work in is not hiring. So I just gotta, of course, like I know that I could just go to a warehouse that's like Amazon. I used to work for Amazon. Amazon's always hiring. I know I could go there and it's decent money and all that. I just don't want to. Like, that's the job. Because, like, my goal in life was always, and the reason why I went to school, and when I found this major, I was excited because I was like, I could get a job doing something that I like doing. Like, I do not, like, my goal in life is to do something that I love doing. Like, get paid for something that I love doing. I don't want to hate my job, ever. And I know going back to a warehouse or whatever, fast food, retail, they're not for me. Like, it's really not. But I know I need money. Bills need to be paid. So I'm going to have to eventually bite the bullet and just do something. Whoever's going to hire me, going to hire me. If anybody's watching this video and you work in the media industry, I'm also looking into digital marketing. I'm about to take another step that I want to do next is get my master's degree in digital marketing because I love social media as well. That's another thing. I like media, period, as a whole. But yeah, social media is my jam too. So I'm like, you know, I could build somebody's social media page. I don't mind posting, scheduling social media stuff, whatever. I'm going to apply. I'm going to get my master's in digital marketing. I got my bachelor's degree in communications and media studies. So if anybody watching this, you know a job, you know that's hiring, hit me up. I'm based in Atlanta, but I ain't got no kids or nothing. So if I get a job opportunity and you want me to move, I'm out. Honestly, I'm open to moving. I really want to move to LA. So, you know, LA, if anybody. I'm open to moving. But yeah, Atlanta cool though. I like Atlanta. Atlanta's the new Hollywood, so why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why not stay in Atlanta? And it's the black Hollywood. Not even just the new it's the black Hollywood. So I'm trying to stay here. I'm trying to be on somebody's production team in Atlanta. holla at your girl. I'll start as a production assistant. I know that's the bottom. I know that's where you gotta start. Let's get it. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's my next plan though. Like I'm trying to get my a master's degree. I'm also looking for jobs. I'm trying to see what's popping. And I'm trying to, do my little podcast thing. Because honestly, it's it's like therapy. Me talking to this camera, talking to myself as I record in this house alone, just looking at the camera. It's because some of the things probably don't even make it to, like, I'll probably edit it out. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So, but regardless, just getting it off my chest and just talking is very therapeutic. So, that's what I plan on using this podcast for. It's like therapy for me. And if y'all got any feedback, any advice, any suggestions, y'all just let me know. You comment, and subscribe. Yeah, that way. Anyway, guys. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I might do a little short form videos while I'm here, while I got my little set. So I might do a little bit where I'm gonna go look and see the questions that people had asked me. Well, I know I answered one. They asked me about the major. I answered that within this podcast, and I also went into my job, what I did, and all of that. I feel like this was a very productive podcast. It's about to be almost an hour. That's a long time. So if you stuck around and listened to me talk for 48 minutes, maybe a little bit less because I might edit some out, but still, if you sat and you listened to me talk for this long, you the real MVP. Because I wasn't talking about shit. No, let me stop. Nah, for real though. I thank you, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. I love y'all, for real. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sign out. Bye, y'all.